Attention! The movie guys love movies. Any jokes made about the obvious lack of ethnic diversity in this year's Academy Award nominees are purely for entertainment purposes only. Guess you'll have to wait until next year, Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise.
I think it's pronounced Cameron Diaz.
If I'm correct, they're both still waiting, aren't they? Has either been
Tom hasn't
nominated
won
or
anything,
won?
has
Oh, Tom has been nominated.
Well, he's been nominated
three times.
But he hasn't won.
Just
How
not this
about
year.
Cameron?
I don't believe. No, I don't believe so.
No.
Wait, In Her Shoes? No.
What would she have been nominated for?
The Mask.
The Mask. I was thinking the same thing.
Night and Day. They both should have gotten nominated for Night and
There
Day.
you go.
That's
All right.
true.
That is a great movie. Tom Cruise's best shot was Jerry Maguire.
Rain Man? Oh, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Rain Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't nominated.
He wasn't
Hoffman won for that. Hoffman stole the show in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But go back and watch
That-
that movie. He really should have been nominated.
Yeah,
He's
Tom Cruise
great.
is pretty good in that movie.
And his voice is exceptionally high, too.
It is! Shut up!
Underwear? His underwear? It's Cincinnati.
Oh, you're right. It's hilarious. Shut up, Raymond.
Hey.
He is answering a question from a half hour ago.
Oh, God, he's hilarious. What a great movie.
In all fairness, he hadn't gone through puberty yet. So
Is that movie dated? I hope not.
I haven't seen
no,
that.
Good.
I saw it just the other day. No.
It can be stuck in the 80s, some of these movies, so I'm glad to hear that. Now I will watch the shit out of that again as soon as possible. Hey, welcome, everybody, to the movie Showcast, part of the vast and sprawling Movie Guys empire. And we're not even supposed to be here today. You've reached ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here on our show every week with rants, sketches, previews, characters, jokes, bits, special guests, and more. You can expect that in the next hour or so
All
as
of
we
that.
broadcast from the Admiral's Club in the heart of Burbank Airport's flyover zone. Now, if you're new to the power of the Movie Showcast, you can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Just search the Movie Showcast or the Movie Guys, and we come right up. And don't forget, we are also available on WBAD Radio at WBAD.net, Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 Pacific. And as always, please subscribe where possible. Tell your friends, share and like posts and videos and all that stuff at The Movie Guys on Twitter and on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you find us. My name is Paul Preston. I am your host here with the roundtable of usual suspects, Adam Witt, Lee Caius, and Karen Volpe.
Hello.
We will be joined later in the show by this week's guest, an actor and voiceover guy who has his own show on YouTube called The Money in the Bank Show, John Rocha.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
And given this week's new release, we have in studio once again, Hunky Frankenstein.
So excited.
I'm excited about that. I did
So
my
excited
hair
for the
for
return.
It's been a while.
for that segment because I think it's very cute.
If this show has a Hans and Franz, it's definitely Hunky Frankenstein.
Karen, he prefers to be referred to as Hunky.
Oh,
Cute.
I can't wait to see Hunky.
There are no
Sorry.
cute Frankensteins.
But we begin with our signature movie previews as Manuary continues. Manuary. Sorry, ladies, no romantic comedies.
I Frankenstein is not.
Not so much, no.
You would think it would be, but
I know. Gothic,
sadly-
romantic.
It doesn't get more mannish than that movie. Fans of I,
Right.
Robot and I, Claudius, get excited. It's I, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. The rumors are true. It's true. Unbelievable. I was given life 200 years ago. I am like none other.
You can almost hear Aaron Eckhart's. You can almost hear, and I must have filtered it out, but you can almost hear him phoning it in. I mean, you can actually hear the actual
It kind of
mouthpiece.
sounds
a
like
little
it's
bit,
coming
right?
through
Yeah.
a phone. Yeah.
they have an ISDN line to his bedroom.
That's true.
Now,
That's
these
better
Underworld
quality.
movies are big hits, right? I mean, I've never seen any of them.
Underworld?
I'll confess. Haven't seen one. Oh, wait. I watched Awakening.
Underworld. I don't know which
It
one that
doesn't
is,
matter.
but
Is
Yeah,
that the one with Robin Williams?
So when they brought Kate
I like them.
He
Beckinsale
plays a
back.
doctor.
Yes,
I love
I like that one.
yeah, that's right. The werewolf is they thought the werewolf was retarded,
Right.
but or special, and then all of a
Turns
sudden
out it was Robert De Niro.
all of a sudden it's fine. No, he's a guy turns into a werewolf. Yeah, turns into Robert De Niro.
I'd watch that.
And his nose is a horn.
Coincidentally, the only way to kill Robert De Niro is with the stake through the
They
heart.
found a way to cure your lichenism. Yeah. So
Can
they
you, if
thought.
you, on Werewolf Book, can you liken that?
Ay vey. Hey, if you're wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses, those of you watching on YouTube, I have extremely red Sith Lord-like eyes today. I just, I did not have a good week.
They're all the rage, though, Paul.
They say, and everyone I've told about the stomach flu
Yeah.
says, oh, yeah, I had that. Or they know, oh, my son
Yeah.
had that. Oh, 2 weeks ago, that was me. Is it more? I mean, because if it got to me, I never have this. It's getting around.
Yeah, somebody at my office did not come in today because they had the mass evacuation at both ends.
Ooh.
That's
Everybody
how-
out.
That's how it works, dude.
So that's going on.
Everybody out.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it happened to Paul at the movie guys writing meeting.
Yeah.
That was the quickest transition I've ever seen. We're sitting there working on something. Yeah, and then we'll do this. And Paul goes, you know what? I don't feel very well. I'm leaving. And he was out the door that second. We're like, I mean, we all sat there stunned for a second, like, if he feels that sick, and then we jumped up and grabbed the spray bleach, and we just started spray bleaching everything, and then we opened all the windows to clear it out because we're like, if Paul got sick that quick, because you were just out the door.
I'm fine
and then,
now.
And then from downstairs, because we have all the windows open, we hear,
I was watering the planters.
oh yeah.
But it was like, as soon as Paul left the apartment, it was like somebody hit the panic button. The red light started flashing. They all started running up. Hazmat suits came out. Did he touch
Yeah.
the popcorn? Put the glass over there. Put this in the sink.
Silkwood.
I also bring this up. I also bring this up to say that is why this showcast is a day later than usual for a lot of you who may be subscribing to us on iTunes.
There may be some people clamoring, and they didn't get their fill.
Well, listen, it's because we're unique. A lot of shows pride themselves on just coming on the air here and gabbing, right? But we're comedians,
Lot of that,
so
yep.
so just like them, and that part is interesting. We can all do that. But at the Movie Guys, we pride ourselves on bringing you original content. You'll find that in our previews and sketches, etc. But once every couple of months or so, we do feel the need that we should bring the public some movie news. And we're going to do that now. But before we tell you of the latest Hollywood news, here is some news of our own. We put out a video today on YouTube announcing that we will be part of this year's Phoenix Film Festival, and it is official.
Yay, us.
That's exciting.
Yay, we've done it.
Yeah, pretty exciting. We're going to be a presence there, hosting
Paul,
Q&As.
not anybody can put a video on YouTube. So that tells you how big this is.
It's a big deal. Big deal. We're going to be hosting some of the Q&As, maybe moderating a panel. I'm not sure about that. But pre-show entertainment we'll be doing this very podcast from there as well. So it's all manner of mayhem will be brought up there. As,
Yeah, we'll probably be doing some of our movie previews for some of those movies and, kind of do our
Perhaps.
little preview
Yeah.
of what's going on in the festival. It'll be fun to do.
Yeah, and so if you haven't seen our video, go to themovieguys.net and you'll find it there because the film selections come out in February, and then we'll announce those as well to see
Great.
which films are the
Great.
ones to keep an eye on when you get there. And I hear this fest is a huge party. That's what's exciting for us, is not only do we work it out that we're going to go and be part of this festival, but I've never been. And filmmakers who go back even when they don't have a film in the fest because it's just such a party and a cool place to hang out. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking
That's
for.
cool. We should set up our mics in one of their green rooms and just bring the filmmakers through and just make a whole other podcast that's just whoever comes through the green room.
That's the deal. We'll have
Yeah.
we'll have a table there at the main pavilion, and we can do that all the time. We
Yeah.
might even have a little step and repeat. We can do some interviews and have all sorts of fun.
We'll do some videos from there too. I'll
yeah,
bring-
so the Phoenix Film Fest folks have been really nice, and as it goes along, we'll figure out exactly what we're doing. But we're pretty psyched to be
fun.
I'm
Yeah.
excited just to get out of the garage.
there. That will be exciting.
We'll be in our element there, I think.
I do want to just one bit of warning, though, for everyone who does attend the Phoenix Film Festival. Phoenix is a very dry heat, so bring moisturizer. I, for one, like to stay supple. So just
I have to believe a lot of our people who listen to us have been to Vegas. Same deal.
yeah.
Ish, yeah. Okay, so let's now get on to the Hollywood news and a little segment based on a page at themovieguys.net called The Latest. All right, what is shaking and baking in Hollywood? Our first story, Jesse Plemons is rumored to be a lead in the next installment of the Star Wars saga. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with Jesse Plemons, here's a little snippet of some of his earlier work.
You are.
Excellent.
It was even shorter than I remember.
Oh, should I play that again?
Yeah.
You are.
I think that was him in Battleship. Actually, he might be better known for his resemblance to another very famous actor.
The gluconate guy, he's out of a job.
So let that be less.
I love that we go with informant for a Matt Damon drop. I'm so
Yeah,
proud of us at that
everything.
moment. Anybody else?
I can't laugh though because my ribs are killing me. All right. But let that be a lesson, you kids. If you can't be the next Matt Damon, then at least you can be the next actor who looks like an already famous actor. Isn't that right, fake Matt Damon? Thoughts, Karen?
Well, is it too soon to call him the fake Mark Hamill?
Interesting. Lee?
With fake Matt Damon becoming the real Jesse Plemons, a long line of actors is in the running for fake Matt Damon. Rumored to be in the lead is Twilight actor Taylor Lautner. Isn't that right? Fake Matt Damon.
Well, there you go. Adam?
Well, with George Lucas directing, I'm sure Jesse will deliver just as bland and cardboard a performance as Hayden Christensen.
Actually, this Star Wars is being directed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, well, in that case, I look forward to seeing it.
Discuss.
It's just exciting that there's a sequel to Star Wars coming out, y'all. I mean, that's like very exciting. That makes like every day kind of exciting. Look, I'm a big Star Wars fan, all right? The lead up to Phantom Menace was, all right, sure, that turned into a kind of a turd, whatever.
Right.
But there were still lightsabers in it. No one can deny me that.
You worded it well the other day when you said, hey, we're getting a sequel to Return of the Jedi.
I know!
Like, that's pretty cool.
That's what I meant. That's what I was leading up to. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like, wow, we haven't had one.
I think it's
It's just
understandable.
interesting to...
I think it's understandable if everyone is very suspicious. It's like you know that it could potentially go horribly wrong. Before I never thought it could go that wrong.
See, the thing is, I think the source material, obviously Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi, I think this room would say are pretty good movies, right? Those are the ones we enjoy. That source material there that he's working off of is fantastic because the fact that George Lucas couldn't do it that well himself does not say anything against the source material's potential. Like huge potential. I mean, there's very little done with the Star Wars universe. Star Trek has been, that has billions of books and movies and 12 different TV shows with 300 episodes apiece and that sort of thing. But Star Wars, there's just 6 movies, and only 3 that people count.
Exactly.
Like you just did.
Yeah.
Now, no knock against Jesse Plemons, in the fact that we haven't mentioned him since our jokes in this conversation. But two things are going well for this. First of all, Lucas should have handed off the directing reins for the last 2 prequels.
Yeah.
And now that it's going to a new director, that's positive. Plus, rumor has it Disney is just hacking away at the expanded Star Wars universe and trying to bring it back down to a very simple through line that we can all follow and not go off into these crazy tangents like the animated and the books have all been doing.
If you've been to Star Wars California Adventure, is that where they have the Star Wars show?
Is there such a thing?
Oh, Star Tours, the ride?
No, I'm talking about the live show where Darth Vader comes
Oh
out.
no, that's at Tomorrowland.
At
Disneyland.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
All right, that does have a couple of characters from the other movies that aren't awesome, but I liked that show. So if they would just make that into a movie, it would be better than the first 3.
Oh, but the Star Tours ride in Disneyland goes to Naboo, a place I would never really want to go again. But when it does, it's awesome.
That's true.
So you can still do something cool with those properties.
I think what shows something cool too is that, like I said, just because Lucas couldn't capitalize on his own universe, but when you watch the Clone Wars, the animated show that's been on for the last 3 years, I think it's over now that Disney bought them. That's a great show, and most of the material he's working with is stuff set up in Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and so you're like, even then he created good enough source material that someone else took it and did something really cool with it. I don't know.
As much as I was looking forward to the prequels, I wasn't really looking forward to the prequels because I kind of wanted to hold on to that fact that you will never see those.
Yeah.
Like there's this mystery behind that, and we can. This is where we started. We started at 4, and we're going to move forward. So 6, 7, 8 makes sense to me because this is our, it's a continuation.
Yeah.
So I'm actually more looking forward to the sequels than the prequels because I wanted that to remain a mystery. I knew they were going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
So I think what we're trying to say is congratulations, Jesse Plemons.
And I'm really curious. Paul hasn't seen
Congratulations,
Breaking
Stan.
Bad to this point, so we can't get specific.
yes, right.
But I'm really curious how they're going to take that dead-eyed man and make him charming. Mm-hmm. Dead eyes.
Still in
By
season
putting him
4.
in a Star Wars
Still in
movie.
season 4.
Jesse Plemons?
Yeah.
He's dead-eyed in that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, apparently
I
he's
will
in the last 2 seasons of
give you
Breaking
no more
Bad, which I haven't
information.
seen.
The Breaking Bad I'm on, he just showed up for the first time.
Oh,
wow.
hello.
I know, right? You finished, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get into Breaking Bad
The
talk,
man
but-
has dead eyes. Anyway.
The TV guys will handle Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
They are a reflection of your soul, Ken.
That's
All right, well,
all
next,
I'm saying.
here's our next
Paul,
story.
He
What,
just
yes?
said that the eyes are a reflection of your soul. Parent, your soul is
Yes,
very
my soul
bloody
is
right now.
bloodshot and Maul-like.
Good.
All right. Next up, Quentin Tarantino has pulled the plug on the production of his latest
Yeah,
movie.
what a drama.
Because apparently the script has been leaked. So he said, no film for you. Someone leaked the script to a Tarantino movie. What do you guys think, Lee?
Spoiler alert, Samuel L. Jackson plays a badass.
Karen?
Let me guess. A lot of people get shot.
Adam?
It has a really cool throwback music for its soundtrack.
Actually, surprise, guys. This one's about rainbows and unicorns. Discuss.
About time.
Do you think that it's just a giant publicity stunt?
I have not thought, honestly, I'm not, let me start that sentence over again because it was going to sound really shitty and condescending.
Yes.
I honestly had not thought about that. And I'm one of the more
I don't know.
cynical people in the room.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not shitty to be non-cynical.
But does Quentin Tarantino even have a Twitter account? Like, is he, playing any of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
Maybe
he's even
he's
on
that
Twitter,
good.
right?
He's pretty clever. He could have been behind all this.
Yeah.
In a post-incident bitch session, he said something about giving the script to Bruce Dern, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Reginald Hudlin, and like 2 other people. He narrowed it down to 6 people who he gave the script to.
He could be messing with all of them in a giant joke on them.
Yeah, but then what? Don't film it, and we never get to see why publicize
Maybe it
the
doesn't
thing we'll never see.
exist.
I'll tell you
Is what I'm
what,
saying.
I'm super pissed too because I just watched all those westerns, which we talked about when Ted Raimi was on. Like I watched like 12 westerns in a row.
Oh, right.
I'm way into westerns right now. I haven't rewatched Django Unchained, but the thing he was doing was the sort of Magnificent Seven, the like group of badasses. Like it was called the something 8? Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight.
I have a copy of the script on my phone if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, well,
That's
this is the
actually true.
development, man. How
That's
much?
true. It does exist.
I
It
actually
is
do
out
have
there.
it. Yeah.
How in 2014 are we living right now? I mean, Lee has it on his phone. It was
sent to
leaked
me-
2 days ago.
It was sent to me about an hour and a half before
By
showtime.
Bruce Dern.
By my best friend in Ohio.
Yeah, like a non-industry goof.
Sends me a
right?
text.
Well,
He's like,
God bless
"Do you
him,
want a
but-
copy of this?" And I'm like,
That's why-
"Absolutely."
That is amazing.
That's why I think he's
That's
in
the
on it,
news
because
story.
how is he getting it to people like that? I'm not
You mean
anything
me?
against your friend.
No, I mean, once it's leaked
But in
somewhere, it's leaked
Ohio-
everywhere now.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, man.
I just want to know how many assistants are being fired right
Oh.
now. There's like a dozen 20-somethings out of work right now.
And with that sort of angry patter where he kind of stares off, he kind of looks at you and points funny.
Because if
You
there's
get
one-
a lot of that in your face right now.
there's
whoever
one
you are.
guy you don't want pissed off at you, it's Bruce Dern.
That's true.
All right, well, our last story. The Eli Manning of the comic book movie business, Warner Brothers and DC Comics, has pushed Man of Steel 2, a.k.a. Superman vs. Batman 1. It's been pushed a whole year from summer 2015 to summer 2016, presumably to avoid competing with The Avengers 2. In other news, the Green Lantern sequel stays steady with its release date of never. Thoughts, Adam?
If you were God and wanted to bless Marvel with only correct decisions and curse DC with all the wrong ones, would the current reality even need a rewrite?
No. Lee?
Does DC somehow feel like they're a little behind by not pre-advertising their next movie since 2008?
Yes, they would be behind. Karen?
This is a sound business decision that they've made. Wait to see what Avengers 2 does, and then just do that. Why try to guess?
Yeah, it all seems a little Mac and PC. Discuss.
Brilliant. I don't think we need to have all that mussing up everything. We should just have Avengers played every weekend all through the
I know,
summer.
you just want more Robert Downey
and
Jr..
And then we'll be fine. Brilliant.
That would be about the most amazing summer I could have envisioned as a kid. Avengers 2, what? They already made one. And the Justice League movie. And the theaters at the same
I
time.
mean, that's where they're going, right? They want to
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
Justice
Wonder
League.
Woman's been cast.
Oh, who is it?
It's a chick from Fast and
Some
Furious.
young hottie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, an Israeli actress.
Oh,
whose
she's
name
Asian?
escapes me.
Israeli.
Oh, some young hottie.
Some young hottie.
Yes.
Look at Lee. By the way, Movie Guys for Kids is every Saturday morning. Lee hosts that.
He'll also
And he
teach
somehow
you.
still slips in a lot of references to Ed Wood.
He'll teach you how to fart with your armpit. It's a good time.
It's yeah, but that's what I always thought about PCs, right? Mac does something cool, and PCs, hey, let's us do that.
Yeah.
You know, so
So
now
does this
Avengers movie, oh, Justice League movie.
But does this give them a chance to get rid of Ben Affleck?
No,
No.
no,
Doesn't put him in
they
jeopardy?
can't go back on that.
The campaign doesn't last longer? More momentum? More torch burning?
So
Well,
get rid of him?
but you know, those critics might be hushed the first time we see him in a picture of Batman, and we're like, well, that's pretty fucking cool.
Guy's got the jaw.
He's got the jaw.
Got the jaw. All right, well, let's get to our first and only release of the weekend, I, Frankenstein. And it looks like he flies, uses weapons, and shoots fire in 3D. Yep, it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Adam, let's do this.
Frankie.
Yes, we predicted it. It was only a matter of time since vampires got hot and oily that Frankensteins would follow suit. Well, here comes cinema's latest variation on time-told tales of gothic horror. Yes, 2014 is the year when Frankenstein finally went shirtless.
If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain.
The title sounds like a setup for so many possible ways this film could go. I, Frankenstein, being of sound mind, declare my last will and testament.
I, Frankenstein, take thee, Kim Kardashian.
I, Frankenstein, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
Actually, you've probably guessed from the title that this is an update. The latest update in Frankenstein technology, the 5G 64 gigabyte A7 processor I, Frankenstein.
Fire bad.
The only problem with this
You
update...
can laugh out loud, by the way. Yeah, you can laugh out loud. He just lost it, and I wanted you could verbalize. Thank you.
Oh, good. We have a
We have one audience member.
guest in the Movie Guys studio. Yes, feel free to validate us. Now, the only problem with the update to Frankenstein is that his Maps app has no sense of direction.
You have arrived at the mass of angry villagers with pitchforks and torches.
In the tradition of such hybrids as Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, and Lee Daniels, the Butler, we now have yet another reimagined version of a classic literary figure.
In this telling of the famous tale, Frankenstein gets a modern update courtesy of the people that brought you the Underworld series. I, Frankenstein, inhabits the same universe as Underworld because here, too, it seems all light sources only emit blue light.
Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr., Glenn Strange, and now Thomas Jane joins the list of people who have played Dr. Frankenstein's most famous creation.
That's Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, same thing. He plays Frankenstein now 200 years after being created, and he's had some work done. Stitches have been buffed out, he's had his head deflattened, and a boltectomy. And ladies, he's single.
Ooh. And it should be noted that, as Adam said, this is Dr. Frankenstein's most famous creation. In fact, this entire movie from the plot on down is grammatically incorrect. As we all know from 8th grade English class, the title should be I, Monster. I, Frankenstein's Monster, will also be acceptable.
Hey, Paul, this movie also stars Bill Nighy. Nah, but he's not the science guy.
No, he is not.
What would a one of these be without a plot line that revolves around a giant war of the ages? Well, I, Frankenstein's got a big-ass war. And what would a one of these be without lots of monsters? I, Frankenstein's plot also involves making hundreds of Frankensteins. Because otherwise, how are they going to include the obligatory a million digital things against a million digital things shot?
The best and most descriptive synopsis we could find for this movie describes the plot as Frankenstein finds himself caught in the middle of a centuries-old war between two clans.
Ooh, Ku Klux and Wu-Tang?
No, gargoyles and demons. Okay, well, plot isn't this film's strong point, and neither is acting or directing or special effects for that matter. But I know what's important to Lee. So, Lee, is this a real movie?
Of course it is, Paul. It's based on a book, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Actually, her book is nowhere in sight if you look at the credits, so at least you know what you're getting into. But it is based on a graphic novel, so it does qualify as a film.
Oh, good.
Based on everything we saw in the preview, I think it's safe to say we have no idea what this movie is about. The only thing we could tell from watching the trailer is that Aaron Eckhart is apparently behind on his mortgage. Oh, and stuff blows up.
To give the Twitter generation some perspective on this character, the traditional Frankenstein's monster was pretty much the Hulk, big, green, and misunderstood with no vocabulary. But this Frankenstein's monster is more like the Terminator, battling some intergalactic Hatfields and McCoys, and likely running his own corporation.
Here's a small bit of trivia for you literary types. What is Frankenstein's first name? The answer, Adam. That's right, Adam Frankenstein. Now, as an Adam, I am honored, but couldn't they come up with something a little more gothic, like Demeter or Bogdan? It was created in Germany, so maybe a Helmut or a Gunther.
Horst Frankenstein? I would like to see that. Heinrich Frankenstein? Wilhelm?
Wach. I mean, if you're going to use Adam, why not just Steve Frankenstein or Mike Frankenstein? Or Al?
Al Frankenstein. I don't know how they did it, but they made the trailer too long. I couldn't wait for the trailer to be over so I could hurry up and not go see this. There you go. That's our preview. Now that's a movie preview. That's how we preview movies.
That is how we do it.
Now,
you're a little more
one might say that was a little long for I, Frankenstein.
Now I can understand why Paul was sitting there writing at the meeting, because I missed the meeting because I was homesick with the thing I gave to Paul.
You missed nothing.
And Paul's sitting there writing, he's writing these jokes. He's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving. And,
And I threw up. Too much I, Frankenstein talk. I left, I puked, I went home.
I was wondering halfway through that, how long would this be if there was another movie we had to preview?
It'd be chopped in half. Last week's previews, we had 4. They were a page apiece.
That's
It's
good.
very long.
Yeah, that was
you can
every
go on
joke we
about
wrote,
this.
right?
You can go on about this, though, right? I mean, it's
I
life.
honestly have no idea what it is based on. Everything I've read and everything I've seen, I really can barely piece together the plot. I didn't realize there were multiple Frankensteins.
I caught that the second time I was watching the trailer.
Yeah.
He walks through like a whole factory of Frankensteins. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, I mean, they finally found a way to make them vampires, right? Because he's like, I'm using the technology from you to create an army of something.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it's a gargoyle war. There's flying gargoyles in it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of well, yeah. It's a Frankenstein movie, isn't it? I mean, I love that they tried to go all vampire with this. There's a bunch of Frankensteins, and there's an eternal clash, but it's between gargoyles because Frankenstein really has nothing else in his universe. Like somehow they've put Draculas and werewolves fighting a lot lately, but
they could have had Frankenstein fight that little girl that he kills by the water. That's
a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Like Village of the Damned
Village
little
of the Little
girls.
Girls. I remember that from the
best
book.
idea.
He tries to throw a Children of the Corn in the lake and just hangs onto the arm and comes back swinging.
And the Village of the Damned kids.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be?
That's a great
That'd be
idea.
fun to see little girls beating up Frankenstein.
That's a great nemesis.
I'm glad you brought up the million digital things fighting million digital things.
Yeah,
'cause
it's so funny at the
there's
end
just
of
way
this.
too much of that. You know, even if it was a huge battle, you don't need a million versus a million. It can be just as impressive. It's like a bunch of people and it's made a little more personal.
I always like the guy in the suit. Give me 6
Yeah, I love the guy in
stormtroopers.
the
They
suit.
scare the crap out of me.
Hansel and Gretel, the 3D one.
Oh, no shit?
Yes, okay. And they have this creature that like helps them along, and it's totally like, I mean, you can obviously tell, just like you can obviously tell anything's CGI, but you can obviously tell it's a guy in a suit, but it's so much more lovely to see a close-up of a suit that's like got all the tube effects, like the classic faces of, like the Dark Crystal and stuff like that, Anyway, it was just cool. It was like mostly a practical movie. Very little of Hansel and Gretel was digital. It was amazing. Like they went to extreme lengths. You could tell because there's that sort of flaw that analog has, And so, but of course there's the flaw that CGI has too. Anyway, Hansel and Gretel.
But back to the point where Adam was talking about making vampires.
Yeah.
It seems like this whole movie, they're trying to make him a different character because Frankenstein doesn't really work as this character. So let's just give him a bunch of attributes of other things that we know work. Werewolves, Draculas,
pack
vampires.
animals.
Yeah, exactly. All those things you normally associate with Frankenstein.
But it is
right?
kind of cool to go with gargoyles because that's kind of like gothic, like a castle. I actually kind of think that's clever. I'm like,
I
all right.
believe there were singing gargoyles in a Disney movie. What was that one?
Ooh. Oh, Hunchback Notre Dame.
Hunchback. There you go.
But that's true. You could just take, like, I want the Pharaoh from the Bible to be an ass-kicking ninja warrior.
Yeah, there you go.
So why not the Pharaoh? Don't worry about anything everybody already knows about the Pharaoh. They'll just hear Pharaoh, and then the religious people will come out. Next thing you know, he's fighting,
It's the
guys
ultimate
in the alleyway.
Yeah, it's the ultimate version of name recognition in Hollywood. All we need is a name in this, and then he can act however he
How
wants.
about Frankenstein?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. We'll put Sybil Shepherd in it. People know who she is.
Do you remember there was a comic book that was like a Frankenstein in Marvel Comics? Do you remember that at all?
This is based on something. I don't know.
This is based on like
based
a
on a
more
graphic
recent
novel, yeah.
graphic novel. But yeah, Marvel used to have Tomb of Dracula and the Living Mummy and the Something Zombie and a Frankenstein that were just like adventuring monthly comics like everything else. But so I kind of like this that like, all right, you're going to turn him into a guy who's like doing stuff. It doesn't have to be a creep around I don't know. Part of me wants to skip all the Oscar movies I haven't seen
and go see
and
this.
actually go see this.
See, I did that once with I did that for Underworld Awakening, and I regret every second. But this, the director here, not the director, the writer Kevin Grievous, who wrote he wrote the Underworld
graphic
novel.
movies.
I could listen to that guy all day. Here he is talking about Underworld: Rise of the Lycans.
Put this in episode 7.
This is basically the origin of the war between Lycans and vampires. And this is where Lucian meets Sonia, his love, who we saw in the first movie, and what their relationship
If you
was.
Google,
He was born to
if
be
you Google
that.
Kevin Grievous, like the autofill voice.
And I think a lot of our
great voice.
listeners, I think a lot of our listeners will be surprised to learn that he's 5'6" and a white guy.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Victor basically.
Karen's like, he might be. I don't know.
Lots of funny.
He created him to be.
All right, stop.
Does he look like the guy from the Green Mile?
Howard,
He does.
He totally is. He's a
Does he?
huge dude. Yeah, and he's in this too. He's in this movie as some kind
Totally
of.
got vocal fry. Talks like Paris Hilton.
Yeah. He was at Comic-Con, and he's in
He does have that, doesn't he,
Yeah.
Karen? I think he's a little too aware of his own voice. He
Also
knows.
sounds like Riley Martin, right?
totally Riley Martin.
From Howard Stern.
He knows how.
Cheapskate bastard.
Cheapskate bastard. Now listen here.
So, all right. Well, listen, our first guests will be in studio when we come back from our first break of the show. It's pretty exciting. I thought Hunky Frankenstein was going to be here, but it turns out a whole monster roundtable to talk about the authenticity of I, Frankenstein. Oh, wow. It was going to be here, and Karen is going to moderate that roundtable
Fantastic.
when we return in 10 seconds.
That's exciting.
If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain,
we mentioned in that seemingly endless coverage of this January release, the idea of making Frankenstein hot was inevitable, but the hottest monster to befriend our show is not happy about it. You may remember our guest today from previous appearances on our show. He's a ready-to-party metrosexual horror hunk made up of sewn-together, electrically stimulated tissue of Hollywood's hunkiest past, with a chest of Charlton Heston, Paul Newman's heart, and Frank Sinatra's alcohol tolerance. Please welcome back to the show the hottest piece of reanimated flesh since Mickey Rourke, Hunky Frankenstein.
Hi there.
Looking good, Hunky.
Thanks for noticing, Karen. I'm teaching an intense cardio program down at the Learning Annex. Yeah, me and about a dozen other monsters, we like to run from a digitally projected angry mob to the music of a torch-bearing village people. So come feel the burn down at your local 24-hour fitness.
So I would think you'd be excited about Frankenstein's getting more coverage in the media with the movie I, Frankenstein.
You, Frankenstein. I, Frankenstein. I had this idea long before Thomas Jane.
Aaron Eckhart.
You know, you may remember, Karen, that I was on the show some months ago talking about the next trend in movies. As a matter of fact, I believe my legal counsel supplied you with a clip of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Paul, I see them getting hunkier and funkier. You know, it's no longer going to be the sole province of vampires only. Step aside, bloodsuckers. It's time for a monster that can frighten the village and look good all night long. Ooh.
You heard it right. You heard it from Hunky Frankenstein first.
I don't know if you can stake a claim to the rights of hot Frankenstein.
I mean, what's next? A teen wolf? Actually, hold on. Copyright that.
I think that's already a thing.
Unfortunately, Karen, there's a lot more to it than that. I will have you know that I personally pitched a movie to a major movie studio called, get this, Me Hunky. Sound familiar? Huh? The studios were all like, this is great, man. You're going to be the next Gerard Butler. All of a sudden, my phone stops ringing, and a year later, he's playing me in this total ripoff of my movie.
Aaron Eckhart, you mean, in I, Frankenstein.
He Frankenstein? Me furious. I Frankenstein, Karen. Me Hunky.
Do we have a clip of me hunky?
Yes, actually there is, but I've been advised by my legal counsel that we probably shouldn't be.
Paul's telling me we have a clip. Let's just hear a clip.
All right. Come on, 8, 9, 10. All right now, gargoyle squats. And 1, and 2. Okay, people, keep it moving. You don't have to be made up of parts of different bodies to get yourself a new butt. 8, 9, 10. All right, feel it good. Shake it out. Neck bolts.
Actually, that sounds like your workout video.
Yeah, well, maybe that was a mix-up. Or maybe that's available now at Amazon.com.
Do you know why you were overlooked in I, Frankenstein?
They Frankenstein. Obviously, they wanted someone younger for the part. I am over 200 years old. Sure, I look great, but how can I compete with that young kid, Patrick Wilson?
Kid? Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah, him too. I mean, do these two even have their adult teeth yet?
It's always been my understanding that's based somewhat on the condition of the dead flesh that's been reanimated.
Oh, well, that would explain why I write with my left hand but strangle people with my right.
So what's in the future for Hunky Frankenstein? Oh,
Karen, you speak of the future, and I appear, for I am Nosferatu, blood-sucking demon of the night, seer of the future, and current legal counsel for Mr. Frankenstein.
Oh, wow, so this case is really heating up.
That's right, Karen. Nosferatu has vowed to take my case all the way to the highest court in the land.
Oh, yes, and I'm getting a vision. I'm seeing a future of a court so high it's enshrouded in fog from the ground and accessible only by a narrow, curving land bridge.
Well, I wish you luck, and I'm sorry that Aaron Eckhart has stolen the spotlight from you.
Who?
I mean, Thomas Jane.
Well, he and his Underworldish Entertainment LLC should be prepared for the fight of their lives because I have an attorney that can see the future.
Nosferatu, I assume you know who wins the case.
Oh, Karen, I'm getting a vision, and the winning attorney is Nosferatu.
Well, congratulations.
In the countersuit.
Wait, what?
Record scratch?
On behalf of my newest client, young Frankenberry.
You bat bastard!
Hello, ladies. I am young Frankenberry, and I run on our electricity.
This kid is like the Zac Efron of corpses.
Hello.
Even younger and hotter than Thomas Jane.
How could you, you blood-sucking lawyer?
Not the put down you intended, I'm sure. Sorry, Hunky, I saw the future and you lost. But you'll be happy to know I also arbitrated a distribution for your workout video to Fox News as footage of a terrorist training camp.
And I'm going to use some of it on my new MTV show, Killing It. You've been killed.
Well, thank you for your time. It's always an adventure with you guys. Hunky, sorry this didn't work out for you.
How humiliating, really, Karen.
Oh, wait! Oh, I'm getting a vision. Don't sweat it. The kid overdoses in April after partying all night with the creature from the Blackberry Lagoon.
Oh, great. Wow.
Well, we'll be back with a real guest soon. John Rocha will be here in just 10 seconds, so hang on.
Late one night when my eyes beheld.
I'm going to be doing some push-ups in my trailer if anybody needs me.
I'm getting a vision
Of the lottery
of a
numbers?
very lively interview with John.
And we are back with special guest time. Our special guest has appeared on a number of TV shows, a couple of films. He's done a ton of voiceover. And I have to believe one of his true pride and joys is a show called The Money in the Bank Show, which he co-hosted with mutual friend and multi-hyphenate.
Yeah.
Andre Gordon. It's available on YouTube. Just search The Money in the Bank. That's with 4 E's. And he is in studio. Please welcome John Steven Rocha, everybody.
Hey, Mr. Rocha.
Hello, sir.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Very
Hello.
happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the experience.
Looking forward to it.
Well, as you can tell, he's a voiceover guy.
Yeah, as you can tell, yes.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
Those are dulcet tones. Yes.
Very nice. So, The Money in the Bank, as a fellow podcaster,
Yeah.
tell us about that show.
Well, my friend Andre and I, we've been friends since the 90s, and we were huge into wrestling. We both went to Florida State together, and we just started watching pay-per-views.
Oh, this is your year, Florida State.
Oh, yeah. Champions.
There you
Go
go.
Noles. And we were, we just got together, we would start watching. And so eventually, our love of wrestling very much shared it. And then some point last year, we just decided to do a podcast about it because we had always wanted to. And then we just decided, well, let's put it together. And overnight, Andre got a production crew, got a staff, got us a place, got cameras, got everything set up.
Such as Andre.
Yeah, such as Andre.
Yeah.
Why don't we have Andre on our show?
We need an Andre. Can we get an Andre, please?
Did you have more than one camera angle on yours?
No, one camera.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, stationary.
Oh, good. All right.
This was the model. So let's make it clear. We were around a
The model for many podcasts.
Yeah, but you would love the look of the show, Adam, because it's those two guys, and they're just done over by memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got belts and figures and all
Oh,
sorts
do you
of
have
stuff all over the
those
place.
first WWF figures that they had that were just stuck plastic?
Yep, those are a staple of the show. Those
Yeah.
in the authentic championship.
The
belts.
LJN, right?
Yeah, the LJN.
And the only move they were good for was because they all had their arms up like they were making muscles. So you could always take one and lock the arm and do an arm throw. That was the only move they were really good at, was the arm lock.
That or cartwheels. They could do cartwheels.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they could round off, too.
Karen, do not make the wrestlers do cartwheels.
It's an athletic thing. It's in
Take
the
the
Olympics.
dress off the wrestler. It's Roddy
Macho
Piper.
Man should not be wearing a tutu.
If so, we have to take baby sleep time or whatever and send her off the top rope.
There you go. Missy Wetzelot's going off the roof.
I would wish they would have beat the crap out of my Donny Osmond doll. But what can you do?
Now, I want to talk about
yeah.
you said the show may be taking a little hiatus,
Yeah,
and it's
we're-
because of something I wanted to talk about on the air.
Yeah.
Wrestling is...
Wrestling right now, in our opinion,
Yes.
wrestling is real on one of the lower dips. It's
Yeah,
like sometimes it goes
in
up
its
and
history.
down. To us right now, it's gone real down, and we do not want to keep doing a show half an hour bitching about the wrestling rather than supporting it and being positive about it, which is what we like to do. And so at this point, we just decided to put a hiatus. We're retooling the show right now. We're going to see what happens at Royal Rumble this weekend, and then we'll decide if we're going to come back and how we're going to come back.
Should we put some sort of campaign together to tell Vince McMahon you took your show off the air because you were tired of bitching about it?
That's right. I don't think he'd listen, but yes, let's put this campaign together.
Yeah,
It's
we
'cause his
should.
son-in-law's
We should
running
take
stuff now.
January off for talking about movies. That's not the best time.
Right? There's nothing to talk about.
We had Matt McCarthy from the We Watch Wrestling podcast on our show, and his cure for this doldrums, I guess, in the WWE is he goes out to where was it? Somewhere near like Pasadena or something. He said the best wrestling you're ever going to see.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like
The local
do you ever
shows.
go to local shows?
Oh, yeah, I love
it. Was
going
what
to
is it, like a
local shows.
Lions Club or something? He said somewhere like I don't know, I can't
Gargis
remember.
Hall.
Yeah, something like that.
Sounds very The Wrestler. Like
Well,
that.
yeah, I want to go though. It sounds
Not to plug another podcast, but my friends on the Schmoes Know podcast, their
friends of the show.
Ken Napazic. Ken Napazic. He was running the local production, promotion around town.
Really?
And
For
invited
wrestling?
me over a couple. Yep.
Oh,
He was
wow.
He was a villain, and he was co-owner of the thing. And so it was fantastic to see
He was
that,
the Bobby the Brain of the brains,
so to speak.
All right.
So
Have
to
you,
speak.
have you seen Lucha Vavoom?
No, I'm trying to get into that. You know how difficult those tickets are to get once they go there because they sell out quick.
They're tough, but you can get scalped ones down there. Yeah,
I'll do that next time.
They're pretty decent price
There's
too.
no better combination for me.
Adam brought that up. Yeah, he went to one.
Yeah, that's where that pina colada drop comes from earlier. There's this guy that's like the total meathead Brutus the Barber, but he's got a complete like Robin Williams chest hair and like, big mustache and 80s style. And whenever he does this special finishing move, they play, "If you like pina coladas." Which is awesome.
Brilliant.
Do they have music cues for finishing moves on live WWE? No,
I wish they did.
Yeah,
I wish
They
did.
don't.
They do after the finishing moves and you count to 3, then the theme song hits. But
I have to admit, when I went to see, and we've been to a couple of live WWF and WWE events, I missed the commentary. It's being at a football game. And live football games are kind of dull too because you don't know you need the guys talking about
it's
stuff.
like everything else in life, and I don't know if it's because we've gotten older or anything, but the commentary for every sport back in the old days is so much better than what we've got now. Like back in the 80s, the wrestling guys, all this at the 90s, that was the best
Bobby
time.
Heenan.
Yeah, Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon, all those guys.
That's the brilliant thing about wrestling is that it's a completely faked event, so that the commentary, one of them plays heel and one of them plays babyface as well.
You got Lawler and Jim Ross.
That's so great.
Those are the glory days.
Well, Paul, Adam, actually, I'd like to take umbrage. If it were fake, they would be able to have the music cue as the finishing move happens, which is why they can't do it because they don't know when it's coming. They don't know when that's going to happen.
That's a good point. These are real athletes. They don't know
what's.
This is not scripted.
Would you call it? What would you call it? Theater, sports entertainment. They call it sports entertainment.
Sports entertainment is a great word.
So the reason I love it, and I've loved it for years, and I'll take no guff for it, is because it is fantastic theater. And if you love theater, it's great. It's got the classic heroes and villains, plot lines, changing wives.
It's very Greek theater.
Yeah.
Because you have the physicality, which, I'm doing a production of Me and My Girl right now, and there's not nearly enough people body slamming each other. So I miss that.
But don't you remember as a kid when you thought it was real? Don't you miss that? I miss thinking that this was
just like Santa Claus.
Just like I do. Well, hey. Back up,
shoot.
Professor.
Oh, no.
What?
Sorry.
Oh,
what?
no.
What? The
Spoiler
professor's
alert.
dead.
Okay. But no, I mean, you lose that innocence about that and how much more magical watching that was when it meant something to you. Like, oh my gosh, this is happening.
Yeah. Are you kidding? When Hogan lost to the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, I vowed to become a wrestler and avenge him. I did not know it was fake, even at that age. We're talking WrestleMania 6. I thought it was still real. You get that debate when you're 15 years old back then. We didn't have the internet or Twitter, all to tell us all the truth about stuff. So
I love following the drama of them now. I started rewatching some of the old matches and stuff, and I love the thing they always do, which is they play out Rocky every time. So Hulk is down, Hulk is down, Hulk is down, and then they raise the hand once, and drops it, raise the hand twice, raise it 3 times, and then he holds the finger up, and you're like, ah! It's like if baseball were faked, every game would come down to even score, bottom of the 9th, 3 men on, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Absolutely. You're a sucker for it every time when it's done well. You're a sucker for it every time. You love it.
But I kind of am with you on the current crop of superstars, although I haven't watched in a while because I thought the crop of superstars got bad in like the mid 2000s.
Right.
Your show was described as by you guys bringing the attitude back.
Yeah.
And remember the
Attitude
WWF
Era.
Attitude Era was the greatest.
Right.
And I thought they came down after that ended.
Yeah.
When Austin was done, when Rock was done, when all those guys.
Well, that was brought on. The Rock and all them showed up because the mid '90s was crap, which is why the WCW became so big because they brought all their stars from the WWF or WWE at the time to go into WCW and like re-energize. You had Hogan, you had Savage, you had all these guys. They brought the product back up. It made it interesting, and then the NWO happened. When NWO happened, that changed everything, the landscape. Because ECW,
Love their music.
Right. Yes, I have it on my phone. I can play it for you right now.
The NWO? Yeah.
Well, that was in the 90s. We saw the WWF in the Poconos. They weren't even playing in an arena. They were just playing like a.
It was like a casino hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Who wrestled?
Hart and Michaels. But those were the big guys.
Well, major props. That you have a woman who loved and went to watch wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
How rare that is in this world.
Not too bad.
I love Kurt Angle, so that was my deal.
Olympic champion.
Well, Karen worked on Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, wow. And you must have stories up
What
the
is Tough
wazoo.
Enough?
It was a reality show where people tried to learn to be wrestlers, and they all competed to have their own contract.
Yes. One of them actually became a champion for a while, and then now he's out of the WWE.
Was it
Now
Maven?
he's out.
Maven.
Yeah.
Yes, Maven. That's right.
Not the era I watched. Maven? I don't even know that name.
Bringing it around to movies, who do you
Yes.
think is the best person to translate from wrestling over into film?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt that The Rock is number one.
Pretty
I
amazing.
mean, you see...
Besides The Rock, I guess, right?
The Rock is the one. I mean, Hogan's has a niche. You know, No Holds Barred still has its fans, but
Uncle Manny.
The Rock has been so amazing because his personality. It's just so amazing. And people, I think those of us who watched him at the beginning had a feeling that he'd find some way to transfer over.
He invigorates movies exactly the same way he invigorated the ring when he would come into the scene. You know, something would be going on, and The Rock would enter, and it just changed. It was nice.
When he has the right director and that use him correctly, he is fantastic, no matter what he's doing.
I thought it took a while, though, to get into that right movie.
Yes.
Probably Fast Five, even. There were maybe
Right.
3 or 4 in there that were meh, you
Well,
know.
it was funny because he kind of slimmed down for Be Cool because he was trying to kind of be like the healthier guy.
He's
and
in Be Cool?
Yeah. He actually is hilarious in Be Cool because he slims down to play this like homosexual bodyguard who's obsessed with being a country music star, and so it's brilliant.
Wow.
But then
That's perfect. He always remember he always used to bring the guitar out and he would
exactly.
sing songs to Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's
Sing
brilliant.
about how shitty the town he was in was.
And I loved it
that's right.
because he'd always, the little details killed me. He'd be out there and be
greatest
singing about
hero.
how shitty the town is. He'd have his guitar. He'd always have a little music stand.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's the perfect heel. Like the greatest heel of all time, right? Because you just love him.
pretty damn good.
But
Well, that's
he's
how-
the bad guy.
Right. He was a heel for a long
Ego
time. and
gone
then-
mad.
Yeah.
Well, I think he really turned the corner in the Tooth Fairy. I think that's really when we said this kid's got some chops.
I have to admit to have never seen that, or what is it, the Gridiron? Not the Gridiron. What is
No,
it?
the one that the Vin
gameplay.
Diesel did.
Gameplay.
The gameplay,
And then, Escape from Witch
Pacifier.
Mountain. I haven't seen any of
Oh, the
that.
pacifier is Vin Diesel's.
Yeah, they
that
both-
almost sank him. That almost sank Vin Diesel pacifier.
Pacifier?
Like he was done after Pacifier because nobody went to see it.
But
I
isn't
don't know
that
if you guys
funny?
remember that.
There was like Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and then there was Vin Diesel, and it's that sort of friendly rivalry.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
both of them did the same thing. Like Stallone went and did Stop Him, Mom Will Shoot, right at the same time that Schwarzenegger did Kindergarten Cop,
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Twins or something.
Twins. Yeah, I think he did
Yeah,
twins.
and then these two, like they were the Pacifier, and the other one was in like the same year. It's
Yeah.
like they both decided. It's weird. It's like somebody has a trajectory for these careers, and they're like, "Nope, sorry, this is what you do this year." It's on paper.
But speaking of wrestling,
You bad kid show.
Speaking of wrestling and folding it into movies, what I always loved was when Jesse the Body tried to interject himself into the Stallone Schwarzenegger paradigm.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was one of those guys. I'm part of this group. Whenever he would talk about, well, us action heroes. No, not you, Jesse. Step aside. Like in what was
It was a Predator.
It was a Predator. Yeah, he was
And
talking
Running
about.
He was a Predator and Running Man.
And Running Man. Yeah, exactly.
So he really thought he was part of that group. You could tell he was like the little brother that no one really wanted hanging out with.
Yeah.
Mom said I got to bring him to the ball game.
He did not get the call for Expendables.
Exactly.
My God. Yeah.
Now, for some of the bits we were doing here earlier, you were chomping at the bit to jump in on some of these conversations.
Oh, no, you guys are-
I Frankenstein. Or
I love
something.
this show. Well, I'm going to see I Frankenstein tonight. I don't care how much
That's
you guys
cool.
put it down.
I'm in too.
I love that about you.
I think Hunky and I are going to be there.
Hunky's not going. Hunky's pissed.
I'm going to drag him kicking. the street.
Nosferatu will be there.
Adam lit up a cigarette. That guy took off. I thought the fire. I thought the fire. I can't tell if the fire is bad. The fire is good. The movie's got explosions in it. Yeah, Frankenstein seems okay with it.
No, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a sucker for the Underworld franchise, and so knowing that those are the same people that made I Frankenstein, and I sat through the panel at Comic-Con.
Yeah, we sat there together.
That's right. We sat
The
there
I
together.
Frankenstein panel?
The I Frankenstein panel.
Oh yeah. How was that, Aaron Eckhart? Electric personality. How was it?
Let me say, Aaron Eckhart, someone needs to hug him or love him really
Yeah.
well. He's
Right?
so angry about everything. And if
really
I had
is.
his career, I would be skipping to every room, skipping
like-
into every
I
room.
know,
I don't understand.
right?
I don't understand. I love the guy. I'm not putting him down. I'm just saying, be happy.
Didn't he start off in romantic comedies?
Yeah, he did a few.
Well, he did a few, but
But he
that
did that
in the company of men.
And it
Company of
didn't
Men.
work.
Well, when was Thank
It
You
was
for
hard in
Smoking?
that.
Was that before? Thank You for Smoking was his
That was
big
that was
introduction.
after,
Apatow film, right?
That was after.
No, that was
Was that Apatow?
Jason Reitman.
Oh,
Jason
right.
Reitman,
That's
yeah.
right. Sorry.
In the Company of Men was his first film with Neil LaBute, and that was just a dark,
was awesome.
angry film about women.
Awesome.
But it's like you could go anywhere after that. You know, you're
Right.
established, whatever. And
Right.
but since Dark Knight, which really was his biggest movie, his biggest movie, it was just kind of like, well, I'll do Battle Los Angeles, I'll do Olympus Has Fallen, I'll do I Frankenstein. He's got into these springtime actioners that are kind of, I mean, all hits, but.
Every actor wants to be an action star as soon as they kind of get any traction, I guess.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, just come back to summer, Aaron.
Well, even with Dark Knight, it's a shame because what people joke about is that Rachel. You know, that's what people joke about is his, you know, going nuts about when he becomes Two-Face. It wasn't even as, you know, when you're being overshadowed by, you know, the gentleman behind us. It's kind of hard to compete. It kind of, and I think it's symbolic for his career. He's overshadowed by these other leading men who just seem to bring more to the table and the public identify with more than him.
Yeah, it seemed like someone at the panel at Comic-Con had a card that said, "Make sure you ask Aaron about his abs."
Yeah.
So then he was like, "Oh yeah, check him out." And he pulled up his shirt. And he's like showing his abs. We're like,
No, wait, that happened?
We'll go and see. It's like we'll go and we'll see it.
I wasn't there. Apparently, that happened, Lee.
That's sad.
And remember when that one dude said,
This is basically the origin between lichens and vampires.
I'd like to see that guy's abs.
Yeah, I like that there's 4 Underworld movies. There's 4, right?
Is there 4? Yeah, I think
Like
there
any
is.
movie there's 4 of, I'm into because that just-
Awakening,
such as Adam's theory,
Evolution.
once you make 4, he'll go. He
Yeah.
doesn't care what it is.
And I'm going to try, when I see I, Frankenstein, I'm going to, in my head, make that the 5th Underworld.
Cool.
Like that this is in the same universe, I think.
You
Yeah,
must have loved the Police Academy movies, too.
yeah,
Six
absolutely. I didn't see the last couple.
Miami Beach,
but-
come on now.
It's got Bill Nye, right? Bill Nye, he's in all those Underworld movies. But he's not the same character.
He's in this. Oh,
He
good
looks
point.
just as creepy.
I thought that was true.
I don't know.
I'm also going to place this in the same universe as Priest, that Paul Bettany vampire movie. That was a great movie. Such an Underworld
I don't
movie.
think that word means what you think it means.
I mean, as in large? Such a large.
Oh, wait, I haven't asked you yet the question I ask everyone who comes in here.
Sure.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Citizen Kane, hands down.
Really? So you go with
And
the
record.
uncontestable.
That's a record, by the way.
Really? No one said that?
No, for the quickest answer ever.
Oh,
Well, that's because
yeah.
the man
Well,
knows.
I did prep him. I told him we'd be
okay.
well,
But I
I
also
would have
want to
answered that quickly either way. Yeah.
But Citizen Kane is a choice. I think the reason people go, because they're like, wait, movie I like the most or movie I think is the best movie? For
enough.
Citizen Kane, you're like, I'm covered.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, the truth is, I saw it when I was 17 years old, home from school, sick one day, and I rented it at the Video World.
Now, why did you rent that at 17?
Well, because I was starting to get interested in film.
Yeah, so you heard that was a great
I
one.
heard it was a great movie. I saw that movie change my entire life. It made me become a cinephile. It made me become an actor. It was everything that was connected because I was like, I didn't know you could do this with this medium.
Okay.
And it just blew my mind at a young age.
And the thing for anybody in our audience who doesn't know, the thing about Citizen Kane is it's these tremendous leaps in storytelling. Like he's using camera in a way nobody ever used camera before. He's using editing and flashback and sound in ways that had never been done before to tell this whole story of this newspaper guy. Now, did you appreciate all those details at 17?
Well, no,
because I had to have them drilled into me. Like, pay attention to this, pay attention to that.
No, for me, I was attracted immediately with the newsreel beginning and then going backwards, Rashomon style into because no one knows what the truth is. Everything is a recollection from their own experiences, but no one ever hears what the actual truth is.
Like life.
Like there you go,
Yeah.
Like, which is what I thought was fantastic. But now later on in life,
The more you know.
where's the star? Later on in life, I read all this stuff about Toland, hacking through the floor to get the shot above during the campaign headquarters and all the sound
Extremely
off.
low shots at points where he's his mightiest, right? Because you want to get as low as you can.
Right.
And then there are other,
I mean,
all
that
the
shot of him when he's in the campaign, speech with his huge picture of himself behind him doing the political campaign speech is phenomenal. It's one of the best, most moving scenes I've ever.
damn near
witnessed
invented
on
mise
film.
en scène, right? For like a better word, which is like
There you
framing of different objects in the camera.
Yep.
I mean, when he put himself as the young Charles Foster Kane playing with the sled,
Right.
in a window,
window.
boxed in the shot with the larger than life people deciding his future in the foreground. I mean, that kind of shit no one had ever done.
No, and I still go. I just wanted to go see it at the Egyptian a couple of months ago. Because
that's cool. That's a great place to see it.
I won't resist it.
I would love to see that in the theater.
Yeah, I'd love to see that in the theater.
You get so much more.
First time I saw it was it was at a college, but it was still in a big screenish
Right.
with the whole crowd and everything. Not so much at home. So yeah, that's a great. Well, yeah, you did cover quite well there. That is considered the greatest movie of all time, and it's your favorite movie of all time.
Well, I don't
Nice
want
work.
anybody to think I'm too snooty because
What's your favorite trashy movie?
Hey, you already said
is my absolute favorite trashy movie.
Awesome.
I saw that in the theater.
Yes, yes.
Does Hudson Hawk unfold Rashomon style?
Wow, I've only seen it once, and I know nobody that has qualified it.
Oh no,
as
I
one of their
ran into a
favorites.
group who it was a kind of a cult item for them in college.
Really?
You have it on Blu-ray?
I have it on Blu-ray. I have it
Nice.
every version. I had VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
What do you like about Hudson Hawk? It is so of its year, isn't it?
It's so incredibly stupid yet fun that I can't. I mean, they're all the mean people are all named after candy bars. I mean, there's just two stupid.
I got to go watch it again.
Danny Aiello and them singing together, like they pull off heists to songs to time their heist to songs.
Yeah, because they don't take watches.
Right.
So they need to.
Which is such a Dean Martin device, like from an old Frank Sinatra film, right? All we got to do is sing.
Nah, you know. Yeah, right. Exactly.
When the
Plus, you get I don't know, people who I'd never liked in any other film since were great. Like Andie MacDowell. I'm not a for weddings and funeral person, so I hate to break it to anybody, but I think she's hilarious in this. And Sandra Bernhard is hilarious in this, although she was great in comedy as well. But I thought they're fantastic.
You will not find another show where Hudson Hawk and Citizen Kane are broken down in the same 5 minutes. That was pretty cool.
A lot of mise-en-scene. That was written by Daniel Waters of Heathers.
Ooh,
correct.
Nice.
But directed by...
Was that Michael Lehman?
I think
Or
you're
is
right.
it Apted? Is it Apted or is it Lehman?
Apted or
It
Lehman?
might be Lehman.
Lehman, who also directed Heathers. Wasn't it the same gang or no?
I don't think it was the same, but I know Daniel Waters.
We don't have Jamie here today to tell us what's
I wish
what.
it was
Only
written
our
by
board op
John
would jump right
Waters.
on the internet. The internet will know. The internet will know all that.
I got a question. What was the movie that was run into the ground on cable when you were a kid? That was on cable over and over and over, and that's the only reason you've seen that movie and know that well?
Jesus, that's such a good question.
Like, for example...
when I was a kid, we didn't have cable when I was
Or like the
Me
first time
either.
you had experience
Yeah,
with
right?
cable for a period of time.
Original Clash of the Titans for me.
Oh, the Harry
It's
Hamlin.
just run
Watch
over.
that ad
Nice.
nauseum. Watch that.
I would say Rocky 3. Rocky 3 was played ad nauseum when it finally, because I had it on beta. That's how old I am.
Nice.
And then they started showing it on TV, and I was like, oh my God, it would run all the time on TBS and stuff.
We didn't have cable, so we couldn't watch movies, randomly. But I remember when we got a VCR, we went out to the Superette near my house, and we all rented a movie. And that movie I rented, it was during the summer. I think my brothers rented something Guy-ish, whatever it was. And I rented Pretty in Pink, and that was the first movie that I just watched forever over. It would end, and I would put it back in again and watch it again.
Oh,
'cause I
VCRs are so
could.
magical.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I'd be like, I'm going to watch it
Does anybody
now.
in the room have the... Now, I think any of us who taped a lot of stuff off cable, and I don't know if this includes our guests. Did you tape 3 to a tape? Did you tape it in SLP mode?
Oh, yes. And you
Okay.
break off the thing
Yes,
so you can't
yeah,
record
Yeah.
over it,
So
your
so name
little
a
sister.
movie that you had on VHS, and do you remember the other 2 movies on the tape with it?
Oh, my God.
That's always a fun conversation
Wow.
starter.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club.
What was on it?
The Firm. And The Fugitive.
They're all in one tape? That's
All in one
funny.
Aliens, The Fly, and At Close Range.
Perfect.
I had Wildcats, Broadcast News, and The Fly.
Oh,
Those are the
Broadcast
three that has
News.
there.
Such a great
Broadcast
movie.
News is a fantastic
The
movie.
top 5 for me all time.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yes.
Such a good movie.
Love that movie.
I think I had
Which one? At Close Range?
Oh,
Which is a great film, by the way, if no one's ever seen it.
I think I had Ghostbusters and that one with the Russians that are in the tent together. With
Spies Like Us.
Yeah.
Like Us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
God, I love that.
But
Time out.
Ghostbusters was recorded on at least EP.
No.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what was funny?
Something's going to happen now.
I didn't tape Ghostbusters. My mom, a friend taped it, so they taped 2 other random movies on it. So it wasn't my tape, so it was Ghostbusters. I'm pretty sure it was Ghostbusters, Purple Rain, and Give My Regards to Broad Street.
Paul McCartney.
I just love that Karen's description of Spies Like Us was those Russians in a tent.
Those Russians in a tent movie.
We got it.
And we all knew it.
I was like, oh,
That's awesome.
We all knew it.
I'm like,
We knew it.
The Beast? What are we talking about?
Because it's the lesbians, and they're
It's-
like, all right. And then lesbians go back in the tent to keep warm.
It's
A bunch of guys would remember that.
by the Barkays.
By the way, special shout out to Dan Aykroyd for getting Donna Dixon as his wife.
Oh,
Right?
I mean,
Absolutely.
Nailed it.
women
Stuck
love
the
funny
landing.
guys. Women love
Yeah,
funny guys.
they do. And musicians.
And musicians.
Billy
Why-
Joel.
that
And at the
explains why
time,
I
skinny
love it.
guys.
Yeah, why I love it. Bill Murray explains it why I love it.
Before we wrap up the Get to Know John Steven Rocha and
Yes.
get on to some Oscar talk, which is another reason I've wanted to.
Oscar talk.
What kind of crazy stuff have you been doing here in Hollywood?
Oh, well,
who's been hiring the services of John Steven Rocha?
Well, I've been very lucky. I've done a few campaigns. Minute Maid campaign, Dodge Ram for the 1500 campaign. There's screen
Doing voiceover
What do you
stuff?
say?
on
Doing
Do-
camera?
voiceover stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Do your line.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus.
Or
No,
say anything in
hold
the
on,
same voice.
Guts, glory, Ram.
You ever throw your hat in the ring for being an inner world guy?
Well, I want to. It's just those guys. That's 5 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen that limo?
The
YouTube
Loop Group?
Video?
No.
Yeah, the Loop Group is almost
Yeah, yeah,
impossible
that's
to break
right.
into.
Yeah.
It is very. I did Loop for Windtalkers when I first came out here with Caitlin
Oh.
McKenna, and after that, I saw the commitment that people had. Like people were coming in with books of information, and it's like you don't just show up and say voices. Like you got to have all this kind of information to be a Loop Group, and It's like the Supreme Court. You got to die to get into one.
Wow.
Someone has to die for you to get into one.
Loop group.
It's like
very difficult.
it's like the extras. When you go and do extra work, and there's an extra there who brought his own chair.
Yeah.
That dude's
Oh, yeah.
in for life.
Yeah.
It's the same type of deal. There's lifers in everything.
Like Alan King in Memories of Me. Yeah. That's great.
And you've been on some TV. Were you on Young and the Restless?
I was on Young and the Restless. Yeah, I did that. I did Charmed way back when, and then I just did Hollywood Heights with James. I had my scene with James Franco. That was his past year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was great. He's interesting cat, that James Franco.
Yes, you got to hang with
Can I
him.
say his story? Am I allowed to
Please,
say
yes.
Sure.
We'd love to
Sure.
get.
They roasted
Can
him.
I tell you?
They roasted him. What do we don't already
Can I tell
know?
you a quick James Franco story, real quick?
I want that life that he has because he, in between takes, please hire me again. In between takes, he sat down and was learning his lines, and his assistants would rub his wrists on both sides while he was getting his lines read to him so that he would repeat them and memorize them. And they were bringing him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at every
All
opportunity.
right. You
was
know
like,
what?
that's
If you
the
can
life.
make that your life, good for you.
Right.
All while
it's not-
graduating from NYC and
Appearing at General
writing
Hospital.
articles for General
You know,
Hospital.
I am still
You had to do all
learning my
that, I think.
lines. Perhaps you should bring me food and rub my wrists.
For me and
How
my
do you
girl.
make that ask as a normal human being? Go, here's what I need.
I know,
I need
I
the
feel
two of you to rub my wrists and bring me peanut butter. No, this is perfectly normal. This is how I work. I'd be embarrassed to ask that.
We were standing watching it going, that's the life. My Lord, that's the life. Because he's doing it right on set. And we're like the day players going, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Would that feel good? Does this feel
I don't know.
I bet you.
It depends, I guess, on the amount of
I'm
weed
just
in
bony. It just feels weird. All right.
Or do you have somebody else make that ask for you?
Maybe it happens
Maybe,
after
probably.
you're an Oscar nominee.
Here, rub
Yeah.
that.
She is.
So, what is it, top to bottom or left to
No,
right?
it was this like right here,
Right
right
here.
in that
Oh,
crevice.
For those of you at
Oh.
home, right
Oh,
now,
is that
Lee
the spot?
rubbing
Right in the
Karen's
crevice.
wrist.
That's much better.
All right, while you're rubbing
Actually, this is doing a lot for me, too. I got
While you're doing that, let me get on to the next part of the show. Now, this is the first show we have had since the Oscar nominations have come out. So
I know, and this is the first time I'm looking at it.
that's something we got to kick around, and I know John's got to have some perspective on this too. So
Yes.
let's talk Oscars.
It's a wonderful night for Oscar. Who will win?
No Billy Crystal this year, though, and no Seth MacFarlane, which is a shame. He made me laugh a
he was
lot.
fun.
Who's it going to be?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, she'll
Oh,
be
that's
good.
right.
That sounds
She'll be
safe.
very good.
Super safe.
That sounds super
But-
safe.
Which
And
I
super good.
love because lesbian is super safe.
That's hilarious.
that does say something, doesn't
They
it?
took the woman's show away when she came out, and now they're going, we need you to
That
speak
quick.
to Middle
That's
America.
a quick turnaround for America, right?
This is her.
Yes.
This is her second time doing it, right?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
And she's funny.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
be
it'll be
great.
good.
She'll be fine.
Now, the show itself has 9 Oscar-nominated Best Pictures. Now, this is since they started going to up to 10.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't find 10 this year, I guess. They got 9. I don't know what the hell the
You
thing.
know, they could have done Iron Man 2. There
What
were
was snubbed for that?
Yeah,
Iron Man 2 was
yeah,
snubbed.
3. Iron Man.
3.
Iron Man
Oh, 3,
3.
right, yeah.
Oops, I like 2 as well.
Doesn't matter. You've probably seen them all so many times.
I can't remember.
Nothing for Wolverine, huh?
No love
Nothing
for
for.
Wolverine.
I don't think anything for Wolverine, even down in the tech stuff.
Where's special effects? What about Man of Steel? Nothing for special effects?
Isn't the fact that August Osage County is not on the list? Isn't that the big
That's disgusting.
Isn't that the big?
That's-
Karen's number 1 of the year.
That's my
Is it
favorite
really?
movie of the
Yeah.
year.
Wow.
Best movie, yeah.
I want to know why. That's fantastic because I haven't seen it.
Harvey
But it
Weinstein.
looks like
Harvey Weinstein did his usual push for it, but couldn't get the
Can
magic
you
on his
believe
side
that?
this time.
I heard it's getting a lot of negative reviews based on just how miserable it really is. It's not a bad film, but
It's-
just people are miserable in it. You don't. It's not a
Yes.
feel-good movie. You walk away.
No.
Well, neither is 12 Years a Slave. For the love of God, at
Hey,
least
he
she
does
does
get away.
whip
Spoiler
somebody.
alert: he's free today.
So I don't want to give anything away, but
That's true. He's free at the end.
It's free. at
Sorry,
the end.
folks.
you know what?
It's there in the title. Lone Survivor. Blew it for you.
I hate to say it, but maybe you're
Let me
right.
guess, you're 13, not a slave.
I think maybe you're right because whenever you see 12 Years a Slave, you can go in your head, oh, there's no more slavery, so this will be, a happy ending. But when you see August Osage County, you go, oh, shit, I still have family. We're all fucked.
and I'm late for dinner. Crap.
Christ, nobody died.
Dad's still with us.
this is another interesting thing. Like in 2008, clearly my favorite film of the year, and clearly one of the best films of the year, was The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So they said, oh, maybe we should, and it wasn't nominated for Best Picture. Then I think they said, oh, we expand the number of nominees, then we can have popular films included. So then the next year you got District 9 nominated for Best Picture because they started, which is an okay film, but Best Picture? So now it's a whole hodgepodge of who the hell knows what.
These are all movies that would have gotten nominated before that.
I think so,
none of
too.
these are like crowd pleasers. These are all Oscar-type movies.
Gravity made $250 million, but that's going to get nominated anyway. Yeah, so but there's no Iron Man 3, there's no Man of Steel, there's no Star Trek Into Darkness.
All right, so let's parse this. Based on a true story, we got 12 Years a Slave, Wolf of Wall Street, Captain Phillips, and that's it,
American
right?
Hustle,
Dallas Buyers Club.
and Philomena.
Oh, that's a true story? Okay, that's right. And Philomena. Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 of the 9 are true stories.
So I think I speak for everyone when I say, where do they come up with these ideas? How does Hollywood do it? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Now, so let's parse what politically you can or can't. So if you 12 Years a Slave, you don't want to be a racist, so you want that to win, right?
Right. You can't say anything against that.
You can't give it to Wolf of Wall Street because you don't want to be pro-money.
Right.
Pro big evil
yeah.
money.
Dallas Buyers Club, of course, we want to support the
The AIDS, getting help for people.
Yeah,
So I guess that
getting
narrows
help
it
for
down
people with
to shoot Somali
Philomena,
pirates.
adoption. Adoption's not going to win out against those two, right?
Well, no, those are evil nuns.
Those are bad nuns.
So-
that's Christianity.
Oh.
No,
Wait.
that's the Catholic Church. Right?
Catholic
I see that.
Church,
I haven't
that's
seen
right.
that one. Okay,
Wait a
I didn't
minute.
see that one.
We have AIDS, so your winner is Dallas Buyers Club.
All right, good to know.
Well, that's no one's at a concentration camp, right? So AIDS wins.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's at a concentration camp,
Her
so it
doesn't stand a
definitely
chance.
wins.
Yeah, hers not.
Her
going
seems like the long shot.
Without seeing her and Inside Llewyn Davis, which is not nominated for Best Picture, but still, those are like the two big, like high prestige movies I haven't seen. But out of what I have seen, if I put together my top 5 movies of the year, they're in here. So I'm kind of excited. I mean, Wolf
It's a
of Wall
good year
Street,
for
Captain
movies.
Phillips, Nebraska, Philomena. These are all in my top 10.
I'm disappointed about August Osage though. I saw that way long time ago, like in July or August, and it was great, and it's still great. And it's a shame that people can't handle adult, mature material. But
Have you seen the other ones on here?
I know, right?
A little adult.
Well, I
did
know,
Harvey
that's why I
Weinstein-
don't understand. Maybe that not enough things blow up in the other movie.
The only thing that blows up in Dallas Buyers Club
Well, I
is his
Certainly not
T-cells.
Jared Leto.
and again, I don't want to sound like a populist, but I'm sure we're all very curious whether the Broken Circle Breakdown from Belgium has a real chance.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to
Foreign
Best Foreign
film?
Feature.
Yeah, that's really the buzz here.
I have seen as many of these as I have the regular Best Pictures.
Let me throw out the
Is
two big.
Omar-
Let me throw out 2 big snubs: Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson.
Yeah, huge.
yeah,
For
how
Best
does Tom
Actor?
Hanks not get that?
That's crazy.
I would give it to him, and he didn't even get nominated. Oh,
No.
You would have given it to him for that one.
But is
Yeah,
it better
Interesting.
than Bruce Stern?
McConaughey's
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Definitely better than Bruce Stern.
Oh,
I would
absolutely.
agree with
Bruce
that.
Stern did a great job. It's a
did, but
different kind of
Better than Christian
acting.
Bale? Yeah.
Then, of course, the old theory is, how would you know who's better unless we're all playing the same part?
Right.
That's true. But how you gonna get that scientific with the Oscars? Wouldn't that be a really funny scientific Oscars? Okay, everyone play this part.
Let's see DiCaprio play the 77-year-old man who walks from Montana to Nebraska for a lottery
Right?
ticket.
I would like to
essentially-
watch that.
You're essentially asking for Star Search as an Oscar. Like everyone would just
That
go
would be
does the scene
hilarious.
and get the stars.
Everybody go make Wolf of Wall Street. Let's see if DiCaprio's the best.
Well, there's something you brought up earlier about the Best Picture, 9, 5, 10, whatever it is, 5 that was with the Nolan. I read an article recently on Grantland.com by Mark Harris, who's one of my favorite movie writers, and he talks about how the Nolan effect is what they're calling it.
The
It
Nolan
actually has
effect.
done worse for pictures that are outside the mainstream getting nominated for all the other categories as well. And that it's actually skewed to 44 to 53% higher. It's gone higher, the amount of categories that are taken from the Best Picture, like in the lower categories that are taken from the Best Picture nominees, as opposed to before they would throw out that, like what they did with the adopted screenplay or screenplay, they give it to Fargo, it was a way of awarding a film that was outside the mainstream.
Now the film is rewarded
The
with a
Marissa Tomei
nomination.
effect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I
There's
mean,
another one
my
too.
cousin Vinny shouldn't, but she gets an Oscar for a very.
Well, we talk about that all the
movie.
time. Usually, your screenplay winner is the best movie of the year. Pulp
Right.
Fiction, Fargo, Goodfellas. That's the best film.
Yeah, yeah.
Other movies
but they
win
can't
Best
give that
Right.
to it. They got to do the. They can't give it to her.
Hudson Hawk, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And I would like to get on the August Osage County bandwagon with Karen and say, not only would I nominate Julia Roberts, but Margot Martindale as well.
She was good.
Who may be one of the most authentic people in that movie. And I don't know a whole lot about her, but then I started looking her up, and she's like in all these sitcoms, doing all this crazy stuff, and I thought it was just this really authentic character in this role. So she's fantastic, and she didn't get in there, but I would
Who was
think
that,
about
Paul?
it. Margot Martindale.
Any relation to Wink?
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe.
Just
Once
wanted
again,
to say Wink
the
Martin.
internet will know.
And they don't have the guy with the hair. He's not Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper. No,
That's
Chris
bullshit.
Cooper. Adam, you're the guy at the table who saw Inside Llewyn Davis. Did one of the songs deserve a nomination?
Oh, he's.
did you see
John
it too?
saw it,
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, he's Adam.
Sorry.
Well,
Just for today.
Well, let's see the songs
Mike
here.
Wright.
Let's bring down.
Well, you
Where's
got
the songs?
Frozen from Let It Go. You got Ordinary Love from Mandela. You got her from the Moon Song from Her. Sorry, you have Happy from Despicable Me 2, and Alone Yet Not Alone from a movie of the same name that no one knows.
Since we don't know
Well,
all
yeah, I
these,
think so.
Adam, just sing a little bit of each one, and we'll tell you.
Let's see. I think Ordinary Love. Right? Is that how that goes?
Mandela.
Maybe I'm making that up. Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom.
Okay, so the question is lost. Does one of the Inside Llewyn Davis songs deserve a place in
Yeah,
this?
probably compared to these. These are all super traditional, like
End credits.
or exactly 45 minutes into a kids movie with Despicable Me 2. We're all sad now, but soon we'll be happy.
Right.
Well, I bought the soundtrack after I went to see Inside Llewyn Davis. So I would definitely nominate one of those songs. The song that he sings with his partner.
And to verify, they're all original. Well, most of them.
Yeah, most of them are original. Yeah, it's fantastic music. I don't know what Alone Yet.
And they're so different than like the songs that are in it, like Frozen. I mean, I don't know what the Frozen
That's
is,
gonna
but
win.
it's got to be Disney-ish.
Everybody
you know,
knows that song. Let It Go is like.
And I thought one of the best scores of the year was Nebraska, and I can't believe that wasn't nominated.
Ooh, who did the score for that?
Wow.
A guy I've never heard of.
Oh yeah, cool.
I'd love to shout his name out on the show, but I forget what it is.
Schmal Schmeston. That's what it was.
Schmal Schmeston. That's exactly
Schmon
right.
Schmilliams.
But that's the only one I could still hum right now.
Hey, look at this. John Williams did the Book Thief score. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyone
he
see
usually
that?
only works with like 2 directors.
I know.
Did anyone
Wait.
see that?
Yes,
No.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It was
Good.
depressing.
You did?
Right?
Super depressing.
God,
Worth it, though?
How is that not Best
Yeah,
Picture? That's Nazis and stuff, right?
I know.
Holocaust.
And like a orphan, it's everything.
Well, this year,
and that's not
And
being able to
reading.
read.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know.
everything.
It's
You're right.
everything.
Dude,
That's
that's clear in the
That's
table.
the quadfecta.
I mean, if you're going to nominate only 9, at least get the
Book Thief in there.
the Holocaust movie in
Yeah.
there.
You make good points.
Give her AIDS, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Illiterate 9-year-old AIDS-riddled girl in the Holocaust. There's your movie.
yeah.
You know, we made
Greenlit.
a joke earlier about the lack of because someone immediately ranted about the lack of diversity in the nominees.
Yes.
You know, obviously, 12 Years a Slave is a number of black actors and directors nominated for that. Do you think there's a Latino shortage? No Damian Bachir this year?
There's always a Latino shortage. Come on. I
Not at the Home Depot.
I don't work at. Okay, that's outside.
Beat his ass. Beat his
outside
ass.
right now. American. Yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, but I mean, there wasn't much going on with. I mean, unless you're going to nominate Bardem for the counselor.
Yeah, what's
There's
the
not
snub
really-
there,
there's
really,
not really
for
much.
this year? What's the snub?
How did I not see The Counselor? That looked great. I heard it was dog shit, so that's why I
Get
didn't see
high.
it.
And
I
go
heard that
see
was
it.
terrible.
That
Yeah?
film is Get High and Go See it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. If you have any, I'm not going to.
Now Adam's interested.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, it's such a trip, that movie.
All of a sudden, Adam's gone and his chair is spinning.
It's a me-shaped shape through the garage door, like Roger Rabbit.
I think it's what Savages wanted to be. The Counselor is what Savages wanted to be. It's that.
Oh,
kind of- yeah.
Well,
would
I
say that.
could tell from the trailer they did not know how to sum up their own fucking movie. So, so that either means it's super interesting or super bad. I think.
Can I put a vote in for her? That's my vote.
Her?
That's my favorite
that's
movie of the year.
good.
No shit.
Oh no shit!
I heard it's
that's the one I
amazing.
gotta see.
I
to
think
wait to
I'll
see.
give you the screener if you want. I mean, not legally, but
No, I will go
come
see it in
over.
the theater. I've seen everything in the theater, and I
Yeah.
will continue to.
Yeah.
I just
But I think-
that's.
it's my favorite.
But I had to see Captain Phillips twice, so.
Oh.
But I'll get to her
God, I
eventually.
gotta see
Do you
that.
think that she should have been nominated? Her
Her?
should have had
Scarlett Johansson?
nominated for Best Supporting Actress because I mean she's in the whole
That's a
movie.
snub.
As a voiceover guy,
Yeah.
I would
Right?
say absolutely. And there was a groundswell for that earlier in the year. People were talking about having her get nominated as a way of kind of what they want to do with Andy Serkis when the Hobbit movies came out, that he should have been nominated. For the
Robin
work he
Williams
did.
with Aladdin.
Robin
They wanted
Williams
to-
with
they
Aladdin,
made a push
exactly. Look, she was, to me, that's the best she's ever done in anything.
Wow.
She's so real and organic and touching and playful and just accessible in a way that you've never seen her in anything else when she's trying to be sultry or trying to
Because her looks get in the way,
sexy.
you think?
Maybe for you, Lee.
No, I'd love to. I'd rather see her on screen and say nothing. If I have my choices.
I don't have a thing. I don't have a thing for her. So
It's
for
the
me,
opposite
it
in this
was
movie,
hearing
Lee.
The voice was fantastic. So I thought she should have been nominated.
Well,
It was fantastic.
and she was not the first choice. Somebody else had actually been
someone
cast.
was on set.
Samantha Morton.
Samantha Morton, and
was on set.
recorded most of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. The whole movie.
Yeah, and I
they
heard.
yeah.
But her voice is too cold and British, they said. They really did. They were like, it's a little, it's not, it's not, you can't warm up to it because it's so British.
Well, I had heard an interview with Joaquin on Fresh Air just the other day, and he was talking about how he thinks most of the dialogue that he gave between Mortensen and him is actually what's in the movie.
Yeah.
But they just went back and recorded Scarlett's part.
They brought him in to sit outside the booth where Scarlett was recording and would feed her some of the lines.
Oh, okay.
To have that kind of rapport. But I'm sure he's right about the fact that most of his stuff, because they're not going to have him sit there and do the entire movie all over again. That's how much money that would be.
And there is some controversy behind the fact that they required her to wear a bikini while
and also she had to rub his arms,
his
right?
wrists.
His wrist.
It was very
Weird.
bizarre, but
call back.
She's a professional. She's a professional.
No, I'm sure you'll work with him again. It's John.
Don't worry about it.
All right, well let's stop talking about the best movies of the year and talk instead about
What did you see this week?
So for best production design, well, we'll get to it next week.
I saw Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Is it enjoyable?
It is enjoyable, but I can see why they pushed it from December 25th to January. It gets a lot. There's a lot of figuring. There's movies
Lot of
where
figuring.
they get there's like long figuring montages where they figure they've got to find this guy on the GPS, and we got to figure where we're going, and we got to disguise so and so, and we got to, long stretches of that at Christmas time. People wouldn't have watched that, and they didn't even watch it in January.
A lot of figuring.
It's true.
A lot of figuring in that movie.
But I mean, Costner. Anything Costner. And the coolest thing about it was it came out of the theater, and there's a poster for Costner in a movie called 3 Days to Kill,
Yes.
where he's a badass,
Yes.
and he's kicking everybody's ass.
What?
And I'm so excited to see Costner back kicking ass all over the place again.
Totally.
I saw that trailer and wasn't really paying attention
Yeah, I
to
since
it.
have seen the trailer.
And I've seen the trailer for 3 Days to Kill, and I'm not paying attention to it. I'm like, why didn't they use this to promote Shadow Recruit? This is a much better version of Shadow Recruit. Oh, it's not Shadow. Oh, okay. I was like, this is a much better trailer for Shadow Recruit.
Yeah.
You mentioning Costner reminded me that I didn't see any movies this week, but I did go see Waterworld up at Universal, and it reminded me how much better that is, the show, than the movie.
I thought they shut that
It's a
down.
great show.
It's a great show.
It survived the Harry Potter move-in.
Oh, it's staying?
Yeah, they got rid of there's a
Terminator.
just big hole at Universal Studios Hollywood where they're building Harry Potter. They got rid of the Curious George play zone. They got rid of the splash zone. They got rid of
Gibson
half the queue
Amphitheater.
line.
Those are
all
for Shrek.
placeholders,
They got
right?
rid of the Universal Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Holy
gone.
The
crap.
Blues Brothers played, where Steve Martin used to play when he would do the
It's kind of harsh.
Did they keep the Mummy 3 ride?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a Mummy 1 ride.
Oh, was it?
But, yeah.
Now, I saw something very unfortunate this weekend.
Uh-oh.
The TV version of Pulp Fiction.
Why would you do that?
It's the biggest waste of time. TBS.
Please tell me it was just on in the background.
Now, do you have that on DVD to pop in?
Yes, I had.
Popped
I
it
know.
in.
Oh.
And TBS, I appreciate the effort, but there was just nothing left of that movie. There was just.
It's like watching Scarface.
Yeah.
On TV, there's no point.
But it's so weird. Like at Christmas, I gave some DVDs out to mom and dad and stuff like that. And but every Christmas, I also discover one from last year that's unopened. And so,
What one didn't they?
but I just realized like people just love watching it on TV. Like I'm not gonna open that and go put that in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape it. Or I'm going to watch it, or it's on Saturday nights, or whatever, Mr. Ed, or whatever. But anyway, so it's just funny. It's like, I'll watch it on TV, even though this is the worst version with
I have
commercials.
said this before. Few Good Men will come on TV, and A Few Good Men will be on TV 6 feet in front of me, and it'll be on DVD 6 feet behind me.
yeah, no.
But I'm not going to go put it. I'm going to suffer through the 3-hour version of it with commercial. I don't know why I do that.
I don't either.
I don't get
Do
it.
you do it?
We get rid of cable so we can just watch
I
what
don't
we
come
want.
across anything.
No, but this
No.
is commercial television. That's what I'm saying. I will sit through the
Yeah.
commercials on TBS. Do you do this, John?
Oh, yeah, of
Why?
Well, here, I'll explain it to you. And this is what I came up with. We are hunter-gatherers, so we have to have collections of things, right?
Yes.
But we're also essentially lazy. So when we sit in front of the television, we are not going to get up, unpack the DVD, put it in. Too much trouble. I'd rather sit and let that TV give me what I need rather than to get up and do it. But I feel pride in my collection. So you exist on both sides.
I think that's actually probably very accurate because the squirrel that is in front of me has already been killed and skinned. The two behind me, they're still running around. I got to chase them down. I'm going to screw that.
Right.
I'm going to eat this one. Okay.
Did you see anything this week, John?
I did. I saw Jack Ryan, and I agree with you completely. Everything you said is exactly right. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as the reviews said.
Pine's good for reimagining the character.
Kira, surprisingly, very good with an American accent. I think she should just do that for every film.
She struggled a little bit with those R's, making sure they got
I'm not
in
saying anything negative. I won't say anything negative, but yeah, she just struggled with the R's, absolutely. But I also saw Dallas Buyers Club, which I absolutely loved and didn't expect to love. Like I thought it was going to be a Lifetime AIDS movie.
That's cool.
The Blind Side for AIDS, and it was not that at all.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what.
It was great.
That's
Please
perfect.
hire me. Please hire me.
That is perfect.
And the one that I saw that I really loved this week was Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Right. That thing.
That is a fucking movie.
It's a fucking 3 hour. And when you're done, you're like, wait.
You're exhausted.
You're like, how is this over? How is it 3 hours? That's not possible.
There's a whole section where you can't breathe, and there's a whole section where you laugh your ass off.
They make you feel like you're with him as part of his crew through the whole up and down roller coaster craziness. It's fantastic. And I wanted to turn around and go back and watch it again.
How hot?
I have. I watched it again.
How hot is his second wife?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What an introduction.
Margot Robbie.
Is that her name? She's Australian.
Remember it.
Ridiculous.
She's like a better looking younger Jamie Presley.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's like a little tiny,
Poor Jamie
perfect.
Presley. No, nothing against
woman.
Jamie Presley.
Oh my god.
People get old.
She made a
Happens.
career. I'm dead in this town.
can't laugh. I'm sorry. Did I say that or did Adam say that?
I didn't mean it in a negative way.
You thought it. It came out his face.
Such a Lee line.
The fake Matt Damon. That's what we're
Fake man.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that right? Fake Jamie Presley.
The Wolf of Wall Street is absolutely fantastic, and I get so angry at the moral high ground people are taking about that movie. You're glorifying this guy's life. Okay, have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Because it's not glorified
at all.
You know?
He suckers people out of money, but people are stupid enough to give him the money. It's America.
He calls them on the phone, and they don't know him, and they give him money.
Right.
And
They're
it doesn't
suckers.
go
Wait a minute,
well
that
for
works?
him.
Apparently.
It doesn't go well.
I'm sorry to people whose actual families were like. Of course, you're sorry about that, but then again, they willingly did it. No one made them give the money up.
He didn't steal the money from them without them knowing about
Do we
it.
need to start like bitching about the people? Oh well, you know what? This guy so and so was the slave owner for Solomon Northup from 12 Years a Slave. So we need to start writing articles and being all pissed about that. Like I understand that people were pissed that this dude took their money, but it's a fantastic movie.
It really is.
About and you can't deny that.
And DiCaprio's a goddamn tour de force in that movie. Can you say that?
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
does things that I don't even know how to do. I don't want to give it away to these guys who haven't seen it, but
yes, okay,
the whole thing of going down the stairs. How do you know how to do that? How does that? Who knows?
It's so funny you bring that up because I forgot that I was going to say this on the show today. Is I think that should be your graduation from any acting school you go to.
It's
You have to
amazing.
effectively do that scene with that kind of flexibility and intention and purpose
And
before you
realistic.
can graduate.
We will just call it the Quaalude scene, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
God.
Where do
The
Quaaludes
lemon-
go? I hear
the
about them, but you can't
lemon
get them
Quaalude
now.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No, but I always
They
hear about Quaaludes,
they
and they were great.
explain
They
that.
Couldn't get
Where'd
them
they
either.
go?
Yeah.
Dude, they explain that in the movie.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
You get enough money, you'll get the Quaalude scene.
Yeah, they explain why you can't get them.
All right, well, let's wrap things up, everybody, with the wild and the wacky and Karen's weekly look at the birthdays of those who make the movies. Karen?
Paul said this is going to be wild and wacky.
Well, let's hope so. To start off our wild and wacky weekend of birthdays, let's wish a happy birthday to Bill Maher,
Happy birthday, Bill.
Bill Maher, the science guy.
Bill.
who turns 58 but can play anywhere from Ann Coulter's arch nemesis to the man who brought us Christine O'Donnell. Wait, aren't they the same person?
One's a lot angrier.
I'm not a witch.
Ann Coulter's not a witch either, apparently.
One's got an Adam's apple, the other doesn't.
Everyone knows him from his Emmy-nominated TV show Real Time with Bill Maher. But did you know he holds the record for the most Emmy nominations without a win at 32?
Ooh. Every year he's in the mix, man, and every year it's a daily,
he's too
daily
political,
show.
right?
Well, it's Daily Show wins, so I don't know
Susan
how.
Lucci.
The Susan Lucci. I was going to say that. The Susan
That's
Lucci
because
of Daytime
Daily Show isn't
TV.
as hard edge as Bill Maher's a little more hard edge.
It's more of a comedy show. Yeah.
Right.
Bill has also had quite a movie career before he started pissing off the religious right.
He's in a great movie.
Yeah, so let's just ask, does anybody know a couple of the movies he was in?
DC Cab.
Absolutely.
DC Cab, all right.
Piranha Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
Cannibal Women.
Cannibal Women in the
Yes.
Avocado Jungle of Death. Ron Scott from Miami University is one of his favorite movies. And it is great.
That's fantastic.
It is this totally like
That's what they
cheesy,
said?
you know.
I
it's-
haven't seen it, but that's what IMDb
It's
said.
made to be like a ridiculous, you know. I mean, it's explorers and stuff, but Bill Maher's in the middle of it with his delivery the whole way through. It's really
He was also in a made-for-TV movie version of Club Med and something called Rat Boy.
he's in a movie called The Pizza Boy too.
Oh, this isn't the jungle of death. you really are cannibals.
You mean to say you're cannibals? Okay.
Bill is also a strong advocate, as we all know, for the legalization of marijuana, which I understand now why he made all those really bad movies. You'd have to be high to make those movies.
That's true.
Marijuana Bowl, Seattle and
That's right.
Washington and
true.
Colorado.
Next up, let's wish a happy birthday to the very sexy Katie Sagal, who turns 60.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here.
60, I know.
Jeez.
She looks
Still looks hot.
hot.
Guess
But
she
can
looks
play,
slamming hot.
She can play anywhere from the hysterically animated wife of Married with Children to literally being animated on Futurama. And she's hot in Futurama, too.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Even with the one eye.
One eye.
Oh,
And
he's still hot.
And Sons of Anarchy,
two
right?
boobies.
And yeah, definitely.
Two boobies, one eye.
Two boobies, one eye.
That's the magic formula.
Wow, she's been in after show that's all syndicated. Like she's in like 3 syndicated shows.
She's doing really great. Matter of fact, I didn't even write this down, but I found it interesting. When she auditioned for Married with Children, she read the script and she had her lines and stuff, but she was like, you know what? I feel like I need to do something more with this character. And she came up with that whole idea to make it 60s for the audition.
Wow.
She wore the wig and the hair and the sexy outfit and didn't say anything about that in the script. Ballsy, man. That's how you gotta do it.
Who could go
instinct.
Who could go for watching Married with Children right now? Like I could just totally
Right?
watch that anytime.
It's so funny. She has quite a diverse career. Did you know that she is actually a singer and quite an accomplished singer at that? Because she has been singing backup for a bunch of famous people. Do you know a couple of the famous people she sang backup for?
I don't. We saw her at the Hotel Cafe here in
Yep,
town.
she did a cabaret show. Now, one of them, the first one, was she was dating Gene Simmons from
Kiss.
From Kiss, and she started singing backup for him, and then also got gigs with Bob Dylan. But half the band was fired just a week before they started their tour in 1978. So she was fired by Bob Dylan. She also sang backup for Tanya Tucker. So she has various musical
Tanya
styles.
Tucker.
Tanya Tucker. And Bette Midler.
Oh, wow.
I would love that kind of gig. That would be awesome. So I thought that was very cool. And lastly, let's wish a happy birthday to the lovely and talented Lorenzo Lamas.
Oh.
Who turns
He is lovely.
56 and can play anywhere from a Latin American heartthrob to Lorenzo Lamas. Mr. Lamas is probably best known for his work in the TV series Falcon Crest, where he played Lance Cumson. And appeared,
Time out.
Yes.
What?
Lance Cumson.
Hey-o.
It's perfect. It's spelled Cumson.
Not since Pussy Galore we had such a subtle
It's
suggestion of sex in a
So
name.
perfect. He was actually very proud to announce that he has appeared in all 227 episodes of the series. The only actor to do so.
Oh,
Wow.
227 episodes of what? Falcon Crest.
Where he turned down the role of Duke Jizzbag to play Lance Cumson.
Also, you may remember him as he did appear in some movies. He played the jock in Grease.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, the very
really?
big dumb. Yes.
I wonder if you're going to name the one movie that I remember him in as a boy.
Name it for me, because I don't have any more.
I don't know the name. It's a wrestling movie where he played a wrestler.
What? John, you just perked up John's interest.
What?
A real wrestler, not a big time
Vision
wrestler.
Quest?
It was
Like a wrestler.
it was a counter to Vision
Wait a
Quest.
minute. Was
Oh.
it Body Rock?
Body Rock.
Was it that?
There's
No.
no Jamie here.
No.
Wasn't he in like a TV show with a motorcycle?
Yes.
Yeah, Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade.
Renegade.
Oh, I learned also that in
Oh my God.
in recently, in Renegade, he had long hair, but recently he needed to redo the look of Renegade, so they had to use fake hair because he no longer had it. But for those of you who are concerned that you haven't seen enough Mr. Lamas lately, don't worry. He's currently in post-production for a, I believe, possibly straight-to-video release of something called Bro, What Happened? So that's exciting, Lee. I know you're concerned
There's
about
no way
that.
that's not going
That's a great title for a whatever.
Right? I'm like, bro, what happened? What happened?
Bro, what happened?
Shouldn't Sean William Scott be in that? I think?
Exactly.
And also, Lee, I know how much you know that I love celebrities singing. So we're going to wrap up birthdays enjoying...
I know this about you, loving what you love, yes.
What I love. We're going to listen to the dulcet tones. I was going to do Katie Scowl, but she can sing, so it's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. Not fun.
Now,
What's he
Lorenzo
sang?
Lamas singing on the top Billboard 100, made it to number 85 at the top of the Billboard charts from the film Body Rock. Here's a little
No shit.
Fools Like Me.
Oh, so
Sing it to us, Lorenzo Lamas.
That wraps another movie showcast, everybody. Together we are the Movie Guys. Individually we are
Yeah,
Movie Guys.
Follow us at Twitter at The Movie Guys, on Facebook at Facebook.com/The Movie Guys, as well as on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram, all that shit. LinkedIn, we're there. Thanks to John Steven Rocha, everybody. What can you plug? The new show or any other recent work?
Well, I can plug my website if you want to come and book me. www.johns.stevenrocha.com, ROCHA.com. You can listen to my work, and if you want to book me to
Book
record
the
it,
magic pipes.
feel free.
And would there be information there when you finally put the new show together?
Yes, there will
you
be
go.
information there as well. And I'm working on a new podcast, which is going to be called Hollywood Uncut.
Ooh.
Off the Strip.
Oh, so
with me and this publicist, Maureen, who's fantastic.
Is it about
only circumcised
Jewish men?
people.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You're in a room full of comedians.
Double me. I knew
Kind of.
We're ready for the penis joke.
Double entendre.
And thanks to Stephen Schultz for his writing contributions to the show every week. And remember, you can find everything we're up to at themovieguys.net. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.
Dreams are made for fools like